Yo, yo, yo. Let me know if the audio is lined up. Apocalypse to toxic humanity. Right now it's becoming more and more evident. Matter of fact, me realizing, uh, my energy and my soul purpose and what have I always dealt with in past lives, but more so as a guide on a human experience, is giving into humanity. Like every time I watch something and remember the characters in the movie are always, like the ones you resonate with, that's always speaking to your energy. And I think about this, the characters from and any character that's made to be a bad guy in a movie, in most cases, is actually the energy that is the quote unquote good guy, and not, for lack of a better word, with good guy, bad guy. But I brought up the comic book Harrow County, Harrow County, uh, Harrow County. If you want to go check out that comic book, and it's the normal, just like X-Men, where Magneto, one aspect represents our God energy, our spirit, and the other represents humanity. And I'm also getting to this equity aspect, but we get into a place where we gotta honor our spirit and our higher self, the higher self that we are, and honoring our higher self, meaning not giving in to our toxic humanity. You know, uh, we talk about balance. Balance doesn't necessarily, like right now what we're dealing with equity for balance. So balance doesn't mean, you know, let's just say like this. Balance right now means to bring our spirit and our soul up more than it was, because again the beam's been off. What I'm saying, the balance been off. Where it has been more weight on the side of, you know, uh, the humanity aspect, the physical aspect, the over masculinity aspect, the over logical aspect, and it's been not enough weight on the side with the feminine aspect, the intuitive aspect, the soul, the spirit, the primordial darkness, the divine chaos. You know what I'm saying? And what's happening right now is we're putting weight on this side, not on this side. This side already been weighed down. You know what I'm saying? It got a lot of weight on. We're putting weight on this side to level off the equity, and balance off the energy and the connection between, the soul and the physical aspect, or the masculine and feminine. And that doesn't mean, like we're still, source on the human experience, you know. So that's still going on. It's just realizing that, we're stepping into our godhood, and it's just like, like you could use the example, like if I'm a parent. And matter of fact, y'all, I see some people coming in. Justin Marshall, what's up? Allende, what's up? If I'm a parent, you know, I'm not gonna give my children, their inheritance and power if they still giving in to, toxic energies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna give the keys to Ferrari to my child if that child is gonna let everybody else drive that vehicle. And AKA, like this is a vehicle, and if we still letting cancerous toxic energies, govern our vehicle, then our spirit is gonna take away our power, AKA our soul sovereignty and our royal energy. We got to step into a place of being courageous, confident, being fearless, and also being guilt free. Like, again, this realm is changing. I realized, to like I was getting that little reminder, like, hey, remember, things are gonna be shifting. You know what I'm saying? I always spoke to it, like, again, like there's gonna be apocalypse. You know what I'm saying? But it's not gonna be for like this earth is gonna shift, but it's just the end of the world for toxic energies. It's the end of the world for energies who's trying to hold on to the temporary physical aspect and put the physical temporary aspect over the infinite non-physical aspect. It's an end to that world. It's an end to that energy. You know what I'm saying? And again, like with that whole aspect, you know, you come out if you need to. With that whole aspect, again, a parent is not gonna give the keys to, what I'm saying, get the keys to a child that's still letting cancerous and toxic energies run its vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Like again, I'm not gonna give you the keys to the vehicle if you about to let everybody else drive it. You know what I'm saying? I gave you the keys to the vehicle for you to drive it. You know what I'm saying? And that's, what's going on. And you could always look to the as above, so below, as within, so without. You know what I'm saying? Like as we detox, as we bring light into our body, the toxic cells are gonna have to transition. You know what I'm saying? The toxic cells are not, is either, detox and raise your vibration and bring light into your cell body, or what I'm saying, are you transitioning or being transmuted and allowing for non-toxic energy to come into that cell. But again, like a cell being of service to a greater good of itself, and the body is in alignment with the energy that helps the body to be its greatest version. So like right now, again, like think of this earthly matrix, earthly plane, however you want to look at it. It's like a body, and this body is detoxing. You know what I'm saying? And also, this is another thing where all the again movies and stuff like this promote the Xavier character, like Xavier and X-Men. Like, oh, let's save humanity. We gotta fight for humanity. Like, no, that's not the thing. And same thing with Thanos' character. Thanos' character was made to look evil or whatever because that's actually the God energy. The God energy again, like it's like a king or queen, royalty. Like, and what's funny, the aspect of like, certain people awaken is like, what's up, king? What's up, queen? But it's some true like shit to the queen and king stuff and like being a sovereign soul. You know what I'm saying? Like again, and even forget a car like this has cosmic implications. Like for us to step into our soul energy. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna be able to uh run a kingdom if you're still suffering from lower vibrational energies like fear, jealousy, doubt, guilt. Are you still judging yourself? You know what I'm saying? And again, it's also having magnanimous energy, meaning, what I'm saying, to be in this higher place, this higher alignment, no matter if, you know, lower energies come at you in a certain way, hence why that's the aspect of us, being in alignment with, say, for instance, the aspect of the Christ consciousness. But even with the Christ consciousness and the heart chakra being healthy, that comes with discernment. And discernment means like not necessarily judgment. It means like, all right, feel the true energy of this and not just giving in to any old energy. Like I'm not gonna give in to the toxic, cancerous energies within my bodysuit. Therefore, I'm not gonna give in to the toxic, cancerous energies outside of my bodysuit as well. You know what I'm saying? Because again, that's what the aspect of understanding the wholeness aspect, you know, and why I made that video a while back about like, like be careful with the oneness thing, but it was more so with be careful with it from the perspective of the New Age movement, because they doing it in a way that's like Xavier from X-Men. You know what I'm saying? They telling you to honor this energy. You know what I'm saying? Like to honor the energy of say for instance the humanity aspect, again, the toxic energy, and hence why Xavier always get crossed by the humans, you know what I'm saying? Like he always give in, like, oh, we gotta save the humans, we gotta save the humans, but then in some way, form, or fashion, they done end up calling somebody on them or doing some type of thing, you know what I'm saying, to show like, like their their alliance aligns with temporariness and the physical and putting the physical over, because some energies, that's all they know. And when we talk about this, that's the wholeness of the situation, is understanding that yes, within this realm, the contrast is what creates experience. The pressure is what makes a diamond. You know what I'm saying? So, just like you wouldn't do your schoolwork if it was no pressure to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody wasn't applying pressure, like like, and not to fearmonger about these things, but like chemtrails and uh 5G network, and like matter of fact, YouTube getting tighter. Like, cause before I did this video, there's like they on a passive aggressive aspect of like trying to stop these type of videos from being on here, but in a passive aggressive way, like, oh, gotta make sure it's of a certain age limit, and if it's for people over 18, you can't get monetization for it. Basically, like, they're trying to move things into a place where videos that speak on being consciously aware of these types of things don't get put on here and don't get promoted. You know what I'm saying? So again, this is what it is. You know, And again, that oneness is to understand just that aspect again, where that oppressing energy and that contrast exists for a reason, because that's what allows for us to level up. Again, that's the pressure that makes the diamond. You know what I'm saying? Because we would just be sitting around chilling, and hence like with the aspect of what they call spoil, like, oh, that little kid or this child spoil. They get everything, and they don't have to do anything. And no coincidence, when we talk about children, it's related to seeds and fruit, and what happens to a fruit. You know what I'm saying? It spoils. You know what I'm saying? But just like a child, like you would spoil a child if you give them everything. You got to work for this thing. Like, you don't just give a prince, or the princes the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? They have to prove that they're able to manage a kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't just get, because if you giving in to like, oh, it's one love, even to you cancerous energies, like, no, that's where discernment come in and be like, all right, you know, I understand the wholeness of your energy. I understand that you're, as a cancerous, toxic, parasitic energy, yes, we are interconnected because I created this realm in reality to have this energy, but I'm not giving in to that energy. I'm not gonna put that energy before my spirit and my soul. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the whole aspect, and hence why again, like, this world becomes what you believe it to be, and hence why religions were created to influence the minds of the gods and the god energy. you know and I spoke on that. Like, that's why like cartoons that deal with genies are like Pokemon, and like where this human aspect like tries to control the magical aspect. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing. That's why certain things get promoted, and that's why that's always the storyline in a lot of these movies, especially Disney movies, where it's to put the humanity aspect over the God aspect and to make the God aspect look evil. Because again, I spoke on this from the Harrow County the comic book I was dealing with, where it was two sisters born of an evil witch, and this quote unquote evil witch, which represents the primordial mother. And check out my video, Snakes on the Plane. But like, matter of fact, Tiamat, like when we, like, everything, 'cause that's another thing, you gotta go further back. Shout out to the book Celestial Ship of the North by Valentino Straighten, if I'm not mistaken. And also like Gerald Massey books, mostly all Gerald Massey books, and I forgot which ones, like that mostly point back to showing how there was a shift in understanding the spiritual aspect when you got to the 18th dynasty, and the primordial mother energy became something that was shunned. you know and hence why, on the flip side, why Hebrews were seen to be like outcasts, and why, like, when they talk about their Sabbath is on Saturday, because they're dealing with the Saturn energy or the Set energy, and that's connected to the primordial mother energy. You know what I'm saying? That goes back to being connected to, that primordial essence. And that's why in Mesopotamia, or whatever you want to call it, in Babylonia, in Summer, and the Sumerian tablets and all this. Tiamat, the primordial mother, what I'm saying, was attacked by Marduk. Marduk is a representation of like the demiurge or the gods that that is over or try to keep beings within this earthly plane, and hence like Clash of the Titans, the movie where Zeus, like most of all these movies, and that's dealing with that construct where those demiurge and just matter of fact gods of America. What I'm saying? I think that's the name of it, the little show where they feed off of you worshiping them, and by you worshiping, their energy, like that aspect is for well, for one, to trick other god elder gods into worshiping a god, but also to keep humanity in control by them worshiping gods. But again, that's the whole story. Like whether it's Marduk trying to kill Tiamat or it's Zeus trying to keep down the Titans. The Titans represent the children of the primordial god energies. Remember, Zeus came after some primordial gods that came before. You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole aspect, is to try to promote you into giving your energy to these demiurge energies and these quote unquote archons. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, let me know if these if the audio is straight, y'all. I know the video kind of gonna be in and out, kind of sort of like with that little blinking aspect, but as long as you could hear me clearly, and the audio is not blinking in and out. But that's what's going on right now for us to understand this. And the more light you bring in to your body, the higher your vibration, the more you tapped into your God energy, and that's what makes it easier for you to like. Because I realized within my growth, whenever I was eating super unhealthy or like weighing myself down with food, these downloads wouldn't come in so strongly. And if you're familiar with my YouTube channel, they got videos where I'm like strongly like, man, and humanity, this and that, not like in an angry way in that sense, you know, but more so like in a divine anger or divine passion that just comes off as anger, as far as like where I'm like, bro, aligning with your soul and like fuck this temporary humanity aspect, because that's our true essence. You know what I'm saying? Is again not giving in to that temporary toxic humanity, but again also being in alignment to where we not irresponsible, like where we just like off with his head, like, oh, just off with your head, like on some not say irrational, but on some, you know, just for anything type of vibe. Again, like in order to govern the kingdom, you have to show that you are able to govern the kingdom in a magnanimous way and in a courageous, confident, aspect without fear, doubt, and guilt. Because matter of fact, again, fear, doubt, and guilt will stop our spirit from producing, and stop our energy from, like a lot of times. That's why on your growth, you may see like synchronicities, like slow down or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like you start to see less, for lack of a better word, what we call angel numbers, but that's just your higher self speaking to you. But you see less of this whenever you're giving in to the toxic temporary aspect, because you're giving, you're basically like handing the keys to the kingdom to the temporary humanity aspect. And that's the whole aspect of our temporary humanity, and that toxic aspect of our ego, is to try to always trick us into giving into the temporary aspect. You know what I'm saying? And not realizing that you are divine and more than your human bodysuit. You know. But again, when we talk about uh, Apocalypse from the movie with the X-Men, I'm saying, that he was made to look what? Evil, I'm saying? Matter of fact, go check that movie out, I'm saying? Apocalypse, made to look evil. Magneto, made to look evil. Thanos, made to look evil. The Titans from that story, made to look evil, I'm saying? Soot Typhon or Set, eventually, like matter of fact, in the Gods of Egypt in that movie, I'm saying, Set was made to look evil, but that was changed again when this new dynasty came about, and all these later mythologies and religions come to mimic what was in Kemet. You know what I'm saying? Hence why they try to make the Sumerian tablets look like it's something older than Kemet. You know what I'm saying? To make it seem like, oh yeah, that's the true thing. You know, Marduk gotta slay Tiamat. When Marduk is that energy of like basically like of the Zeus energy. You know what I'm saying? And you know, also representation of the planetary energies. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, we could connect and understand how to tap into these energies within us, but it's tapping into these energies without worshiping them and letting them control us. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, you could tap into, because you know, yeah, Zeus is you. uh Aphrodite is you. Dionysus is you. You know what I'm saying? You know, Loki and Thor and Woden is you. Like all these folklores, you know, Freya ain't nothing but the Urzuli Anana energy. And I got a video on that, like with the Friday, like an Easter, Ishtar. And matter of fact, on Gods of America, you know, the god Ishtar Easter, you know, was sharing the holiday with Jesus, you know what I'm saying? And then Woden or Wednesday or Odin comes in there trying to like you know, be the antagonist of like, bro, you know, like Ishtar, you shouldn't even be sharing this holiday with Jesus. You should be making sure you get all the energy. And she like, bro, I ain't tripping, you know, I'm eating too, you know what I'm saying? Like these people still worship me, so I'm still eating. And that's the true archon energies is the Zeus and all that shit that some people like worship and stuff like that. That's the archon energy. And again, it's that, and that's the aspect where, you know, when people be like, well, why no quote unquote bad karma going to the oppressing energies, which it, you know, again, cause and effect is happening to everybody, but they help themselves a little bit by actually putting the truth into movie form and into cartoons, where it's like, hey, we are showing you what's the real spill. You know what I'm saying? We just doing it in a little sneaky way where we're not telling you straight up that this the real spill. You know, like, oh, this is fantasy, and you know, and oh, fairy tales, but it's really like speaking to a, you know, a truth. You know, so right now, you know, it's about letting go of humanity. And again, you think about the show Lucifer on Netflix, where Lucifer, you know what I'm saying, uh, he starts to give into humanity, and he starts to get weak and lose some of his powers due to giving into humanity. You know what I'm saying? Uh, and again, in Harrow County, you got Emmy and Cammy. You know, they twin sisters, and they basically like a split incarnation of, you know, their mother, which is quote unquote this evil witch, and she created Harrow County. So like most of the quote unquote people in Harrow County is actually mud beings. Like she made them from the mud. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they're not, technically not even real beings in that sense. And that's not to say that those mud beings couldn't possibly, you know, raise up in their energy and get a spirit or soul to become, you know, more of you know, real being in that sense of it. But they would have to, you know, want to align with a soul and a spirit. You know, hence why some beings, uh, you know, like, say for instance, because that's another thing too with that aspect, you know, because again, you want to know the fullness of the situation. Like melanin, you know, amplifies that connection with the soul, with the spirit, but it's not the end all be all, because there's some people who got melanin and still not connecting with that spirit, so it's just not the end all be all. Like, oh, just because I got, you know, melanated skin and my melanin popping, I'm straight. Like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta show that you're connecting with that energy. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it is an amplifier, and it, you know, it's there. It does have a you know, a stronger connection with that energy, but it's not to. It doesn't just save you just because you have it. Again, just like with certain people, again, it's like you have to really tap into that energy to receive that, you know, that sovereignty and that connection as royalty. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the whole thing. And you're not being able to tap into your full potential if you're still embracing humanity. You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, the toxic aspect of humanity, and within ourselves, realizing our inner world creates our external realm. So, like, if you're still experiencing the aspects of like holding on to humanity and the temporary aspects, that's because within you, there's still some aspects where you're trying to hold on to that energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, uh, you gotta understand to be your true, unique soul spark, you know what I'm saying, and not give in to the temporary humanity, you know what I'm saying? Like, even with connecting with our earthly plane family, some aspects of our earthly plane family, they're not ascending and they may not be stepping into this awareness. Some may step into this awareness in this lifetime, but it's not for you to try to go backwards to try to quote unquote save them. You got to step into your energy, because again, things get slower in your realm. You get less of a connection within your realm. That's why again things manifest on such a high level when we are connecting with spirit, when we are courageously confident and being in alignment with the truth, and not just sugarcoating shit just to sugarcoat it because you think you know a certain aspect of humanity can't handle it. Oh well, if they can't, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what it is, you know what I'm saying? Like we gotta step into the stronger connection with our inner being. That's the whole thing. As a matter of fact, that's the whole magic of things too, is knowing know thyself to the fullest. Knowing who we are to the fullest, and tapping into our soul, spirit, energy. You know what I'm saying? Again, amplifying that aspect and not giving into humanity. So again, when people talk about equal, everybody should be treated equal. That's again back to that oneness. Everything is one and you should be treated one. That is true, that everything is interconnected and there's oneness, but not from the perspective of us giving in to the temporary humanity aspects in this human moralistic system, because this human moralistic system was created to control the God energy. So certain oppressing energies could try to keep control of this realm by keeping control of the minds of these gods, because if you control the mind of a god who energy and power is much more stronger to create reality, then you creating reality then, you know what I'm saying? Again, hence why when we fell asleep, basically that oppressing energy came in and like, all right, we're gonna create this religion to say, to worship Jesus externally. We're gonna create this to worship externally. We're gonna create that to worship externally. So, you know, uh, while they sleep, they get programmed with this, and hopefully this keeps them in their slumber. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you think again, like that's the whole thing with the fake oneness, like why they putting all these melanated people in these roles in movies and X-Men and Marvel and all this, you know what I'm saying? All these Disney movies, you know, like that's why Obama was elected. It was to like, make you feel like, hey, you're a part of you're a part of it, guys, you know. Because really, they're scared of their little fake temporary world crumbling down, and it's gonna happen. And that's another thing, is cheering on the alignment with our spirit and soul. Like fuck the temporary toxic humanity aspect. You know what I'm saying? Like that's unhealthy to the body. Like, think about it. Like, again, this oneness and equality is more so equity. Again, the scales is off balance. You know what I'm saying? The temporary aspect and humanity aspect, masculine logic. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is wrong with it, again, because we are gonna be like, we're not leaving our bodysuit. Like, we're still gonna be in our human bodysuit. It's just getting to a place where we balance things off and raise up that feminine energy, that intuitive energy, that primordial mother energy within, you know what I'm saying, to level off the scales, you know what I'm saying? We're detoxifying, you know what I'm saying, detoxing these toxic energies from out of our being, so that we could connect more, with the soul energy. That's the whole thing. But and again, we're creating healing, and yes, we are, helping, like we're creating healing and things of this nature, but it's from a perspective for those who want to step into, again, that connection with their soul and spirit. We're not going out trying to save cancerous toxic energies that's trying to remain cancerous and toxic, you know and hence why all these some of these new age spiritual modalities, again, like, be nice no matter what, instead of being authentic and having discernment, it's trying to create a situation where you're being controlled again by that human aspect. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, uh like the Necronomicon, with the great old ones from H.P. Lovecraft. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of the beings in there was called Shub Nigger Wrath. Like the wrath of a nigga, straight up. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause that's what they feared, and hence your whole aspect of horror movies is based off of it. And go read. And matter of fact, you don't have to believe, cause I ain't said this in a minute. You do not have to believe anything I say in any of my videos. Take what resonate, leave what don't. But if you go do your research, you're gonna realize, like, oh shit, this shit is real. You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking horror movies started from these people mimicking H.P. Lovecraft, and he created these little characters and stuff due to his awareness that this primordial mother energy is gonna return and awaken. You know what I'm saying? Hence why everything has been overly masculinized and overly logical, and all that and more so focused on the temporary aspect. Because that's why artificial intelligence is promoted. Because of course I'm gonna promote artificial intelligence if I'm not trying to tap into my spirit and soul. You know what I'm saying? And hence why they try to make evolution seem like, oh, we're evolving, because we used to have an iPhone 3G, and now you got an iPhone 11. We're evolving. Like, to try to make evolution seem like it's through these little physical things that are created. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, no. It's evolution, or more so, it's about our spirit. Like us evolving into a place where our spirit is no longer captive of our temporary humanity. And again, that's why these storylines of a genie being ruled by a human, or some type of magical being trapped, or in a cage, like where they keep this little magical thing that make wishes and creates in a cage. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the aspect of the human aspect, trying to, encase this God energy. You know what I'm saying? And fear that it may one day be released, and its little temporary, acidic, cancerous, low vibrational, putting the physical over the non-physical aspect continues to rule. You know what I'm saying? Like, so of course it's gonna be apocalypse. And again, if you feel some kind of way about, like, the quote unquote world ending for the temporary humanity aspect, then you still in love with that aspect of your being. You know what I'm saying? You still, and that's what they're trying to create, is that split within your universe, like, where, because again, we walk in universe, and they're trying to create. And again, as I say, you know, this whole aspect was created by us. Because again, you know, uh, if it wasn't for pressure, there would be no diamond. You know what I'm saying? So there's gonna be something, like, if it wasn't, like, for another team, when you're playing basketball, then you wouldn't have no game. You know what I'm saying? Like, or if you just shoot basketball by yourself, you know, there wouldn't be like, no enjoyment and no reason to even play. Like, you wouldn't necessarily get better just playing by yourself. I mean, you could get good, from shooting basketball by yourself and hitting jumpers by yourself, but there are skills that you won't attain or learn unless you actually have an opponent to play against. You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole aspect, and that's the understanding of the oneness, and understanding, like, yes, the negative exists with the positive. The The logic exists with the intuition, the hot exists with the cold, the light exists with the dark. You know what I'm saying? But it's not for us to, again, it's equity, not equality. Because again, if the scale is off balance like this, and I decide to put equal weight, if I put 10 pounds on this side and 10 pounds on this side, then the scale gonna still stay off balance. And that's where, again, that's what they don't tell you. That's what should be partial truths. You know what I'm saying? Where, oh yeah, it's oneness and equality. If you put equal weights on a scale that's unbalanced, it's gonna stay unbalanced. Point blank, period. And that's the beauty of analogies, because you can't deny that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the proof is in the pudding. You some scales off balance, they're not gonna be balanced if you put weight on both sides. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you gave $10,000 to everybody, even the people that's already quote unquote rich, then the scale gonna stay like this. And that's what a little partial truths in the Jesus story, where he go through there, like, like knocking over shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he went into the little place where the people was gambling and the people was trying to hoard the money, and he kicking the little money tables over, and like, you know, like, that's that Christ energy. That's discernment. That's like, being passionate about, you know what I'm saying? And again, not to the place of where we being extreme. We're not trying to be extreme. Of course, we're in that middle pillar aspect, but understanding that, it is about raising that soul and that spiritual energy. Cause yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a real thing, man. Like, fuck the dumb shit, you know? Like, I'm into the aspect of my soul and my spirit. I don't want to be sitting around not aligning with my soul purpose because I'm giving in to toxic humanity and the temporary aspect of my being. Again, just because this vehicle, because even with this earthly plane, yes, it could be seen as a jailhouse, temporary, whatever, but I definitely want, as above, so below, as within, so without. Just like this temporary bodysuit. This temporary bodysuit is a hologram, just like this realm. But even though it's a hologram and it's temporary, doesn't mean that I want to just throw it in the trash. It just means that I'm not gonna let this run my soul and spirit. My soul and spirit, infinite aspect that's tapped into the infinite, is gonna run the experience, and then once you get that alignment where you bring that energy up, you know what I'm saying, you put some weight on that side, and then you balance things off, and then you could be able to manage things in a more balanced way. But first comes the weight being put to that side, being put on the feminine, intuitive, primordial mother side. You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't, again, that's not taken away from the masculine. We've been in a society where negativity, toxic energy, and all that has been promoted overly. You know what I'm saying? So the only way to balance things out is to, bring things into a place of equity. And again, this matrix seems shitty because of the imbalance of temporary physical humanity outweighing the infinite non-physical spirit. You know, you got to acknowledge the royalty within in order to get get the keys to the kingdom. Because again, would you give the keys to the Bentley to your child if you knew that they were going to let other entities or energies drive their vehicle? You know, you know what I'm saying? I saw something about we aren't going to die. Yeah, there is no death. Only to uh, beings who trying to hold on to temporary humanity. If I was trying to hold on to the aspect of Carl Ray or universal frequencies, like, oh, I'm trying to hold on to universal frequency. I'm more than just this bodysuit. Like, this is just one character. I played many characters in this movie. This is just one of them. You know what I'm saying? So, again, we want to be tapping into that primordial darkness energy. Again, that energy was made to seem, quote unquote, evil. You know what I'm saying? And again, if we letting these entities, you know what I'm saying, like say for instance giving in to the parasitic energies within our digestive system that makes us want to eat a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because again, you got two intuitions. You got your thought intuition. I mean three. You know your thought intuition in connection with your pineal. You got your heart, which is your soul intuition, like that deep true essence, and you got your more of your body suit, mind, body being the like the solar plexus, gut feeling, you know, your gut feeling, gut intuition, and then soul, you know what I'm saying, the heart aspect, you know what I'm saying, which is in the middle of your higher and lower chakras for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Our body was created, you know, like this for a reason. You know what I'm saying? The chakra system, all this, you know, created for a reason. So what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, like so if we letting these parasitic stomach energies run things, that's why like we running off our gut feeling. If we've been eating a lot of like overly salty, overly sugary foods, then that's gonna be always what you crave. And if you're always craving these foods, then you're giving in to the temporary aspect if you can't put your foot down as a soul and a spirit and say, all right, you know, because again, it's not good or bad with eating these foods, but again, if you are letting these parasitic energies govern the way, because then you're gonna start to govern your actions due to like your cravings of food. Like, oh, I'm gonna not do this video right now because I want to eat, and I'm gonna not go here because I want to stuff my face with this food, and then you get all full of food, and then you know you don't feel like meditating all of a sudden no more, or you don't feel like doing other things that may amplify your spirit and soul because you're full of food, and you're just following the nudge of your that parasitic energy in your stomach. And there's no good, bad, right or wrong, and to each his own on your journey. You know, whatever is meant for you in this lifetime is meant for you in this lifetime. Some of us are meant to awaken and make sure we align with our soul and our spirit, and not to allow our temporary aspect to govern our being. Because again, that apocalypse, it's here, and it's here. You know what I'm saying? Like the future is now, the past is now. Like the future and the past is simultaneously right now. It ain't like, oh, in the future. The future is right now, and what we creating right now creates the future, and what we creating right now shifts the past. You know what I'm saying? Like now is the vibrate. Like, you know what I'm saying? For real, for real. you know. We got to prove to ourselves that we deserve our spiritual gifts and abilities. We can't be like Xavier out here serving those who trash in this realm. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm out here like giving energies, like here's another Twinkie, toxic parasitic energy of my stomach, acidic energy. Here's another, honey bun, sugar demon inside of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically like giving an offering to, like you get to a place like where you worshiping that energy. And again, back to that alignment, you know, is about like they always try to make it seem like it's aliens from outer space. You know what I'm saying? If anything, we would be like the aliens, you know what I'm saying? Those of us from that primordial mother essence, you know what I'm saying? Like an alien to this temporary aspect, you know what I'm saying? And a monster, because again, that's why, again, the Necronomicon paint the soul and spirit and that primordial energy as a monster, and most of mythology paint this energy as a monster, because the ones telling the story is the ones who want this temporary aspect. Like there's a reason why, I caught this download why Ethiopia, got fucked over the way it had got fucked over, is because they started to embrace a religion of like putting the God energy outside of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why, and again, you don't have to listen to me, and I don't give a fuck what a book say or none of that. I'm telling you what soul and spirit, has come to me and, and shown me, what I'm saying, like that, because nothing is coincidence, cause and effect, what I'm saying. If your village or whatever gets messed over, what I'm saying, that's for a reason. We say messed over, but that cause and effect, what I'm saying, like that shit got dismantled for a reason, what I'm saying. And that's not to knock anybody that's into, Rastafari. Like, that was one of the first things that I was, you know, leaning towards, but it was for me to realize that that was a past life connection and a connection that needed to be transmuted. Because again, that's who implemented the first aspects of Christianity, was the Orthodox, Ethiopian aspect, or the Kush Empire. What I'm saying, that implemented these aspects. And while some may have realized, like, yes, the God is within, what I'm saying, and matter of fact, because even Selassie spoke to certain aspects of, like, hey, don't worship me, what I'm saying, like, and tap into the God within, just like the Christ images, like, ye are gods, children of the Most High, what I'm saying, like, is it not written in your law that ye are gods? What I'm saying? Children of the Most High, ye are gods. Align with that God energy within. So even, again, there's some truths even in some of these religions, what I'm saying, of the deeper aspect. But, because matter of fact, that's the whole aspect with the Gnostic papers. The Gnostic scriptures got taken away, because it spoke on the creational aspect before, like going deeper into the creational aspect, and speaking on how this realm was created, this temporary realm created from that, Yadala brought a Lucifer aspect, and no good, bad, right, or wrong, because again, this is a mythological story to explain a deeper, bigger truth, and it necessarily wasn't characters as much as just energies, expressing itself in order to create a certain situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, we talk about atmosphere, what I'm saying? Like, the sphere, like the torus field sphere, and the whole aspect of Sophia Pistis, the primordial mother, having a son, but having a son, aka, a star, but without that essence, what I'm saying? Like an energy that didn't embody that primordial energy, you know, and hence why in the Bible, they give you the Bible without the Gnostic scriptures, because the Gnostic scriptures speak on how even you get to a place of how God could be jealous. I am a jealous God, but I'm the only God. That's a that doesn't go together, because if you're the only God, like, jealousy exists because you're looking at something else and saying, I'm jealous of that. You know what I'm saying? So if you're jealous of something, that means that something exists other than you, that you're not the only God. You know what I'm saying? And that not only you're not the only God, not the only God, but there may be even a God essence that's more primordial, and prime meaning, like, for lack of a better word, like first, but the most elder aspect, primordial, you know what I'm saying? Like, before, because there's no beginning or end, you know what I'm saying, to infinity. Like when you look at an infinity symbol, there's no start or beginning, to it. It's like a constant flow, you know. And yes, we did ask for this human experience, we did ask to come to this, this hologram, this gel, this, human body suit. Because again, that's why it is like, it still is and that's what people may get confused, because you might feel like, well, why give thanks for my bodysuit? Well, nothing is wrong with your bodysuit. It only seems like something is wrong with this bodysuit in this realm because toxic, cancerous energies have been running it. Over masculine, over logical energies have been promoted. So, of course, it's going to seem more toxic, what I'm saying, in that sense of it. And why stuff always speak to having heaven on earth, what I'm saying, quote unquote. Because again, it's like bringing that soul source energy within, what I'm saying, and activating it, you know. Again, as above, so below our body, this body represents the earth, what I'm saying? Like, this is like earth, like the movie Osmosis Jones. Go check out that movie, Osmosis Jones. You know, this our body represents the earth, and although it's temporary and a part of this hologram, doesn't mean we don't give a fuck about it. You know what I'm saying? It just means that we know it's temporary. You know what I'm saying? Just like again, I did a video about that. Like, because some may say, "Oh, shit, if this a hologram and this a dream realm, then fuck this dream realm and this hologram." Well, you know, that's just like saying, "Oh, well, my car temporary," like an actual car, like that you drive in that sense, because this is a car as well, a vehicle as well. But like, "Oh, well, my car is temporary," it's just a car, so I'm just gonna drive it into the wall. You know what I'm saying? Like now you're not able to, you know, you know, out your soul purpose and work out whatever karmic energies there is for you to work out. And again, like, this aspect was created for source to, the primordial energy to interface with itself and learn about itself, from a physical aspect. So whether you want to say we got tricked into coming into this realm, matter of fact, like the made sword art online, which is pretty good, speaks to that aspect where these gamers, you know, this is popular game, you know what I'm saying, that everybody want to play, like this earthly plane where everybody, like, earth is the place where everybody want to come, just like Men in Black, you know what I'm saying, like all the little aliens want to come here, you know what I'm saying. But and I'm gonna get back to that aspect too, cause I forgot about, I was talking about aliens. But that whole aspect of, like, where was I? Talking about coming into the hologram and into the earth aspect. Oh, that one kind of slipped away from me, but it's gonna come back. But yeah, again, as above, so below, our body represents Earth, and although it's temporary and a part of this hologram, doesn't mean we don't give a fuck about it. And I think I was talking about this aspect of the dream realm aspect, like, and, and and even if this is a dream, I want to be, uh, in control of my dream. Like, hence that's the whole thing with us doing, like, tapping into our astral body and tapping into our dreams and wanting to lucid dream. You know what I'm saying? So we could be consciously aware in our dreams, so we not just running from a monster in our dream uncontrollably, or falling off a building uncontrollably in our dream. You know what I'm saying? Which points to not having control within your physical life. You know what I'm saying? But I want to have control over, and we say control for lack of a better word, more so, again, being in line with my soul and spirit, which will allow for me to, be more connected to the creator aspect of my being, you know. But that's the whole thing is being in alignment with that energy, you know. But again, equity. Uh, brings the balance back. The dark matter, the primordial mother, the chaos energy. It's death of the human rule and rebirth of the spiritual rule. Going through the Scorpio energy. The Scorpio energy deals with death and rebirth. You know what I'm saying? And spirit is like a monster to the flesh, if the flesh is like trying to hold on to toxic temporary energies. But once the spirit and the soul gets to a place of aligning with the bodysuit and things get balanced, then you have a control, or you could say, yeah, control over your bodysuit. Matter of fact, like, everything is about mastering our thoughts, control. You know what I'm saying? Having a certain control over our thoughts, and again, control for lack of a better word. Like, because as we align with our soul and spirit, things just align for us with ease, and again, like, our actions of being in alignment with our inner guidance system without us having to try hard, because that's the whole aspect, is the work is not trying to, like, hurry, like, rush and do physical work as much as it's doing the spiritual work, like doing the work that aligns you more with your spirit and soul. And as you do the work that aligns you with your spirit and soul, that's going to allow for things to, quote unquote, manifest, for lack of a better word, but more so for you to align with your soul purpose and align with, certain things in the physical, due to you having a certain strong connection with your spirit, you know. So again, spirit is gonna be like a monster. Like matter of fact, again, another little propaganda aspect in Black Panther. You know, Black Panther end up working with the CIA, working with America. You know what I'm saying? Like again, they always trying to coax you to be in alignment with giving your energy to this temporary aspect. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you should vote for, get into politics. Like, fuck a politics. We breaking that system down and creating something new. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the reality of it. You know what I'm saying? Again, it is what it is. Again, things don't go well for humanity aspects, so you can align with soul sovereignty. So, within our spiritual growth too, we go through these dark nights of the soul, or we feel like, fuck, everything just fucking going all haywire and shit like that. And because there's still some energies of us allowing for the temporary aspect to govern what's going on with us. So things gonna go all crazy and seem like it's out of whack because we're not aligned with our soul purpose and aligning with our soul and our spirit. Hence, again, you don't get the keys to the Corvette or the Ferrari or the Bentley. If you're gonna let other entities and a cancerous, like, you know I'm not gonna allow for you to drive the car if you're gonna let the not only if you're gonna let other people drive the car, other entities and energies drive this car, but also if you let the car rule you. Like matter of fact, what was the show? I know the character name was Michael Knight. Shout out to Currency for that song, Michael Knight. Michael Knight, Michael Knight. But the car, Dark Rider or Knight Rider, the car that talked and stuff like that. But imagine if you let your vehicle run you. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, and that's why everything is promoted. Like, hey, don't you think AI is smarter than us? Like, fuck no. Like, AI is meant to mimic our soul and spirit. Like, the internet is made to mimic how our connection with telepathy and our higher extrasensory perception aspects. You know what I'm saying? Like, that that mimics us, you know what I'm saying? So as much as a cell phone is cool, you know what I'm saying? Like how I'm talking to y'all right now, we could talk like this in the ethers. You know what I'm saying? And right now is the vibrate. So yeah, we still using some of these little modalities like the internet and things of this nature, too. Cause again, like it's like a sword within this earthly plane, you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm on the planet Pluto, for lack of a better word, because before I even go into that, planetary energies, solar systems, all that exists inside of you. You know what I'm saying? Like you are a walking universe. But to just give this explanation, like if I go to the planet Pluto, you know what I'm saying? I gotta, for one, my soul, my consciousness gotta get into the Plutonian body, so a body made out of whatever Pluto is made out of. You know what I'm saying? And if the Plutonians is trying to keep me like there, like we want to keep you prisoner in this Pluto realm, even though you're a multi-dimensional being and you could travel to anywhere in any moment, we want to keep you on Pluto forever and ever, you know what I'm saying? And cycling into reincarnation aspect into Pluto because we could use your soul energy as fuel, you know what I'm saying? Like, uh, they're trying to keep you stuck on Pluto, you know what I'm saying? But while I'm on Pluto and in that Pluto bodysuit, I understand that, like, hey, I'm just, my consciousness is in this world, but not of it. And I could use, like, in order for me to break away from this Pluto energy, you know what I'm saying, and get back masterfully connected with my energy, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could use Plutonian tools, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever tools is there is on Pluto, I could use those tools in order for me to, you know what I'm saying, get myself off of Pluto. You know what I'm saying? And not saying again like Pluto would be a bad or good thing in that sense, because also as things continuously change, and let's bring it shifted from Pluto to this earthly plane, you know what I'm saying? This could be a place where you wouldn't mind reincarnating back into, you know what I'm saying? Because you could reincarnate with a higher awareness and think about it. like coming back to this realm after it's detoxified, after there's no longer little characters like Donald Trump and Rothschild families and banks trying to rule over things. You know what I'm saying? You know, it would be cool. It could be a cool place to reincarnate in. It won't feel like you're stuck anywhere or anything. You know what I'm saying? And to each his own on your growth. Some beings want to, you know, would like to come back and have that experience of the clean, hologram. You know what I'm saying? And then some like, oh, I want to shift to a different, plane of existence. You know what I'm saying? To each his own on your, what you're dealing with. But again, like, it's understanding the fullness of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, uh, there's no good or bad, right or wrong. Again, these oppressing energies is not for us to look at, oh man, they evil or they bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, because think about it on a bigger scale of things. Again, like the humanity aspect looks at the spirit and soul as something evil because the spirit and soul is something infinite. Like if I'm into computers and I'm into I, like say for instance, I'm not able to tap into a soul or a spirit. I'm not able to tap into quote unquote pineal organ because a pineal is an organ, not a gland, because it does secrete like an organ secretes the like it creates and it secretes what it secretes. You know what I'm saying? So it's a gland. But anyway, if I'm not able to tap into that energy, of course I'm gonna look at a soul or a spirit or something higher, something evil. You know what I'm saying? And hence why again, this aspect is always promoted in these different movies and stuff like that. And humanity is made to seem like the nice guy, and it's like again like image from this Harrow County comic book in Harrow County, Harrow County, Harrow County, uh, where Emmy is the sister that's like, oh, I want to save the people of Harrow County, when all the people in Harrow County was actually like little temporary mud dolls that her mom made, and then her sister Cammy was like, bruh, like this world, we created this world, like our moms, the primordial mother, what I'm saying, created this world, and we could, create and align with what we want in this realm. But they make it again seem like something evil, so it could come off as distasteful to you. Like Thanos is made to seem evil, so it could come off as distasteful. You know what I'm saying? But there is gonna be a snapping of the finger. There is apocalypse in the X-Men movie again. Same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like all this. But again, can't be a king or a queen if you are compliant with the cancerous aspects of your body, aka with the cancerous aspects of Earth. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the whole aspect of why you may experience or why like, cause say for instance, that's another thing too. That's a tricky aspect. Like you may get little quote unquote synchronicities and manifestations on a low level. But think about it, man. Like as a high power creator, you could create whatever you want on a high level. So you could create more than just, because I even had to realize that for myself, more than just a couple of more bracelet sales and a couple of more jewelry sales. Like, no, I could manifest, the home I want. You know what I'm saying, and be aligned with having all the crystals I want. And I say want, but all the crystals I love to work with. You know what I'm saying, like the home I would love to be in. With ease, but because but when you again like certain aspects of this illusion, give you little bits and pieces to make you think you're doing something. You know, like, and I spoke on the little fake synchronicities aspect, where like you get these little fake synchronicities where you think you're doing something, but it's really keeping you, in alignment with the temporary aspect. And I experienced that a lot in LA, where some people were trying to, promote me to be more into my, oh man, one love, brother. You know, you you're such a beacon of light and love and you know you know that's those energies that's trying to get me to coax me into loving this plane, but from a place of ignorance, from a place of like save all the cancerous aspects of this realm, and it's like, nah, I'm not gonna, hold on to the cancerous aspects of my bodysuit, you know. Like that's not, Matter of fact, in another comic book that's pretty good, I just got into one issue of it, but there's the Wicked and the Divine. The Wicked and the Divine. And it's basically about the demiurge guys being on Earth, and they will come back every 90 years. And like one of the elder gods or whatever, she was like, bro, we come down here because all of them were like pop stars and stuff like that, because they were looking for your energy. You know what I'm saying? And even that aspect, like uh, like Beyonce's, and I ain't saying Beyonce is like a demiurge energy per se, but like some of these energies, give off a persona that makes you worship them, and they don't tell you no different. You know what I'm saying? Where you giving off all your energy and you know what I'm saying, and damn near worshiping a lot of these entertainers, rappers and stuff like that, instead of being a creator and creating that, you know, creating your own reality. Because you know what I'm saying, like, uh, if it aligns for you, you know what I'm saying, like with creating music and stuff like that, or uh, but again, it's like doing things that are in alignment with your higher aspect. You know what I'm saying? Because uh, certain beings do things to promote humanity and promote people not knowing what's really going on. You know, that's the whole aspect. And again, in the wicked and the divine, they were talking about needing energies of the mortals. Like we need worship and we need adoration. Like we need people to adore us. Hence why they took, within their incarnations, they took up the aspects of being like pop stars, like Lucifer and Sekhmet, and there was a few other ones that was all like little entertainers and stuff like that. And everybody like, oh, like, cause think about a concert and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's not saying that all people who do music is this type of energy, because some people doing music and being like, hey, tapping into the third eye and knowing that you got and that you create, you know what I'm saying? Like with a lyrical content, shout out to Kambada, shout out to Kyle Bent, to name a few, you know what I'm saying? But, shout out to my brethren K Reno, out there in Houston that been doing this. Matter of fact, when you talk about Scarface being an old rapper, K Reno was rapping before Scarface and been talking about this God energy stuff and stuff like this. But anyway, and hence why he been underground the whole way through. You know what I'm saying? Because another thing, too, is we don't need all the quote unquote money in the world in order to live out the lives that we love. You know what I'm saying? Like that's another thing. Like we could live the life we love with a certain level of sustenance that doesn't have to be a million, gazillion, zillion dollars. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I mean, of course, unless you were planning to like if you're in your sole purpose, you're planning to create something that was gonna be a platform to allow for like billions of other people to to tap into aligning with their inner God. So hence you would have like a big, like nothing but schools around the world that teach people to tap into their God energy. Then yeah, you know what I'm saying, they would take those billions of dollars or whatever. But again, it would be in alignment with what's the highest good for for this bodysuit, for this you know this temporary realm. You know, but that's the whole aspect. Because even with me doing videos and stuff like that, I'm not looking to save cancerous energy, stuff like that. Again, as I align within my bodysuit with my soul and spirit, it automatically reflects, and a part of me like again realizing what you're great at without even having to try. It's like I articulate myself where I speak on certain analogies that allow for people to grasp certain concepts with ease, you know what I'm saying? So that's a part of my being. So I'm gonna share videos and or have like a podcast platform and things of this nature, because that's a part of, you know what I'm saying, and a part of my soul, my karmic energy, you know what I'm saying? Because again, in some way, form, or fashion, I was a part of an energy. And again, seeing how we cycle through energies, I was a part of the energy that helped, confuse people in some way, form, or fashion at some point in time. Hence being into the roster vibe, because that the earlier stages of Christianity, again, wasn't necessarily telling people to tap into the God energy within, but more so to worship something outside of you, like worship this priest or this bishop or this cardinal, or you know what I'm saying, and it turned into something of like worshiping something outside of yourself. And then another cool aspect, in fact, shout out to Sister Myra, Sister Myra, an elder, uh, you know, great teacher. For all of us to be great teachers, we masterful students, you know. But she had gave a little analogy that allowed for me to kind of go deeper into that analogy. But for one, dealing with the Aquarius age, like the Aquarius age is tapping into the aspect of I know. So it's no longer about just belief. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a matter of fact, like the Pisces energy was about like dreaming and belief, and the water aspect of like, our emotions and our emotions, going through emotions. If we like over emotional stuff like that, that allow for those archon energies to eat off of us. You know, we tapping into an energy now that speaks of to know, like knowing. You know what I'm saying? Because even though the Aquarius energy you would think is like the water bearer, but it's an air sign. Deals with the air. You know, the the thought realm. You know what I'm saying, and having again like knowledge. You know what I'm saying, a certain knowing. And when we know thyself to the fullest, that's what creates our magic. You know what I'm saying? Like again, we already magical. It's just aligning with our soul purpose that allows for it to show up within our realm, and we gotta line up with knowing. Again, Aquarius energy deals with knowing. Aquarius energies deal with being eccentric. You know what I'm saying? Being unique. You know what I'm saying? And unconventional, because each one of us have a uniqueness within our reality. You know what I'm saying? Like we have a, a certain energy that only us could tap into, you know what I'm saying? Like hence why a lot of my videos again speaking to like no comparison, no rush, you know, again and we are learning about things to apply it and and not only learning information to apply it, but also learning information to be masterful of our own inner universe, you know what I'm saying? To master our inner realm, you know what I'm saying? So again, it's about knowing right now. And she brought up, Sister Maya brought up an aspect where she was like, what was it? As a matter of fact, I did a reading not too long ago on my IG, and for myself, a lot of Virgo energy was coming up. And I'm like, wow, there's Virgo energy. But basically, you know, again, this aspect I heard from Sister Myra, and again, having my own inner gnosis on it, but she spoke it so well, and I'm not going to not give credit where credit is due when I heard something from somebody. Uh, she spoke of the Virgo energy importance to our spiritual development, and she's like the Virgo or the Virgin Mother is the one that cleanses, detoxifies, and purifies us from these false values. You know what I'm saying? So when we detoxifying our body and cleansing our body and purifying our body, what happens to cancerous, acidic, cells that don't want to be detoxed. They transition. They got to move around. So cells that want to embody light could, have a chance to be that. You know what I'm saying? Just like that whole aspect with, like certain children being born or whatever that embodies that light. But just like a cell in the body, as above, so below, you come through. As above, so below. You know what I'm saying? Like we're like cells in the body, and it goes back to the Osmosis Jones movie or story. As we cleansing our body, you know what I'm saying? Certain cells are detoxing and bringing in that light. You know what I'm saying? So the whole aspect of the Virgo energy and the Earth energy is a cleansing energy. As a matter of fact, Earth energy connected to values as well, like what we value. So the Virgo energy is the virgin energy that cleanses and detoxifies and purifies us from false values, and also that then allows for us to access the higher self and have a stronger connection to spirit. And then as we have a stronger connection to spirit, you know, then we go into the aspect of balance, what I'm saying, with the Libra energy. And again, like we balancing out. And the Libra also deals with the area of the kidneys, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So balancing out that area, you know, because again, the zodiac is within us, like the head is the ram or the Aries. You get to the neck and the shoulders with Taurus. The arms and the lungs is like Gemini, you know what I'm saying? And Cancer is like the heart aspect, like it goes down the line. But the balancing the connection with spirit. So again, we do connect with our physical body. You know what I'm saying? It's not like uh fuck our physical body. Again, it's to a place where, again, full truths and not partial truths, like understanding the wholeness of what's going on, is that 'cause that's why, again, me dealing with certain crystals, like I think of aragonite, the first one that comes to mind, that allows for you to feel comfortable within your incarnation. Because if you all spacey and space out, unless being spaced out is a part of your sole purpose, you know what I'm saying? Like to just sit around and be like, this and that about the stars, this and that about this universe, and I saw a galaxy the other day, and this and that. If it's for you to sit around and just be in your higher chakras without being grounded, then that may be your purpose. To each his own, because I'm not familiar with everybody's purpose, and that could possibly be somebody's, purpose in this lifetime, or somebody's destiny, aka destination. But you know we do physical work. We are in a physical body, and we are going to be doing physical work. So again, that Libra energy comes with the balance, and balancing the connection with spirit and the body. And it's just not for us to be guided by our body and our lower nature and our temporary human ego. You know what I'm saying? Like, and hence why also the aspect of like riding a dragon, and the dragon being like the ego, where you're not necessary, is the perspective of like the egoic aspect, but also like the lower nature and taming your lower nature. But you know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to necessarily slay the dragon as much as you want to ride the dragon. You know. So it's about, again, our soul does the spiritual work. Like we align with our soul and our spirit, and then we'll get inspired to take a certain action, and that action will align with our higher self, instead of us just listening to, you know, what our, again, because if we've been constantly feeding our gut, you know, and hence it's where it comes into play about like the diets and stuff like that. Well, to each his own on whether you eat meat or not or whatever, because we're in different parts of our growth and going through different things. But you realize, like, not bringing in so many different energies into your stomach area, because again, you do have a gut intuition, and your gut intuition, is going to follow its gut intuition, and whatever is popping off in your gut, that's what you're going to kind of be guided by in that sense. you know and hence I spoke on the you know certain meditations to align the thought intuition and the gut intuition with the soul intuition, and allowing for the soul intuition to be that balance, and that governing force to make the other two balance. you know and again, Libra represents the peacemaker as well. You think about Libra deals with the peacemaking energy, the justice energy, and the balance. The scales. balancing the scales, and I've been talking about that the whole video, and not about equality but equity. Because again, if the scales is unbalanced, and over here again, because the side that's lower is the side that is heavier. So if I got more energy into the temporary humanity, uh, you know, the egoic mind, the overlogical masculine energy, the physical aspect. If the scale is more weight on that side and it's less on the side of like the feminine, uh, intuitive, soul, primordial, infinite energy. You know what I'm saying? If I put 10 pounds on both sides of the scale will remain to be unbalanced. So again, when we talk about balancing things out, that's not necessarily just all right. Yeah, right now tapping into the masculine aspect and the feminine aspect on a 50-50 scale right now. Now some of us, it may be if we done got to a place where we done raised that, where we done put a lot of weight back on the feminine side to balance things off, then yeah, you keep it 50-50 at that point. But making sure though that within that 50-50, that the primordial essence, your infinite aspect is what's governing the whole situation, because govern means to steer, you know, and hence why government is to steer your mental, govern your mental government, but you know, align these things like this, so again, the Libra represents the peacemaker, because also the Libra energy deals with like, like, which it could, when unhealthy, it could go into a place of codependency, or like depending on others, like, like the opinions of others instead of like aligning with what's going on yourself. But the Libra energy deals with, that aspect of, the aspect again of like, being a peacemaker energy within, of, balancing those energies out, like, like, hey, what the, what the heart think, or what the lungs, dealing with, what the brain, like balancing all aspects together, hence being a peacemaker and justice by bringing that balance. And then this aspect, what came to me, and how we could, how to, all the, again, is about embodying, all the aspects of the, the energies of the zodiac, what I'm saying, and having them all in alignment within us, you know, and not just being, oh, I'm just a Capricorn, so I just gotta act like this. I'm just a Aries, I gotta act like this, because then you're allowing for yourself to be controlled by those energies instead of tapping into those energies and realizing they all exist within you. You know what I'm saying? Just because your sun sign is Capricorn don't mean you can't tap into a Cancer energy, because that's the opposing side. Or just because you're a sun sign Aries, also just say you got multiple Aries aspects doesn't mean you won't be able to tap into that Libra energy within and be balanced and have a, that justice and balance within your being. So after the balance of the Libra energy, you go into the Scorpio aspect. And the Scorpio, where secrets are revealed, what I'm saying? Because Scorpio deals with secrets. It also deals with death, rebirth, and transformation. That's in connection with the Pluto energy as well. The death of the temporary human aspect. Because again, if you holding on, if a caterpillar was holding on to be a caterpillar, he would never become the he or she would never become the butterfly. You know what I'm saying? Holding on to that caterpillar aspect. But again, after the balance of the Libra, you go into Scorpio, where the secrets are revealed. And remember, secrets, the word to secret is secrete. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, secreting information, you know what I'm saying? And no coincidence that a Scorpio secretes poison from its tail, you know what I'm saying? So you go into the Scorpio energy, where it secretes, our secrets are revealed from the depths of the underworld, from the depths of Pluto, like from deep inside of you, tapping into that deep energy. And hence why, again, when we going into transformation, it seemed like, bruh, all this shit going like fucked up, and it's just like, man, I lost my job, this and that. Well, maybe because you was dealing with that job in the perspective of letting that job control you, and that doesn't mean that some that something's wrong with working. You know what I'm saying? Because nothing is wrong with having a job when you're in alignment with your soul purpose and knowing that you are a soul on a human experience. And that by if it is an alignment for you to work a job, just understanding that uh, this is a part of my experience and I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? So and aligning with a job that aligns with your soul and spirit more, that's not aligned for you to you know that's not stressing you out and controlling you in that sense of it. you know because if you're dealing with anything, because that's an illusion, you're gonna go through more hardship if you like just working a job just for the money. And what I mean by that, where it's stressing the fuck out of you, like, and it's just like killing you, and just like slowly allowing, you just slowly dying from it. Then you're not trusting in your spirit to create a situation that's better. So you're gonna continuously be held down in that place. You know what I'm saying? And hence a lot of people think like, oh man, not man, I got fired from my job, that's something bad. Like, no, in a lot of cases, for a lot of us in our spiritual sense, that's a great thing. And again, that's not to knock a job, because you could get whether you being an entrepreneur or getting working another job. You know what I'm saying? But it's working a job that allows for you to be more in alignment with your soul and spirit. In that sense of it. Because another thing too, when I was working at the rock shop, that rock shop allowed for me to be in alignment. Because I also was, again, like, it was in alignment for me, because I was that job dealt with me, like my unique self. Like, I wasn't compliant to like changing myself to keep the job. The job was knowing who I am, and either you take me or leave me. I remember having little times where uh, one of the managers, was like, Kari, you need to be more mean about this, or you need to watch over people that's possibly stealing more, this like that. I'm like, bro, I'm not about to hawk over nobody. They got cameras in here, and I would tell them straight up, and as being a melanated person, I'm not about to be like, returning that energy back to, like, treat somebody like a suspect, how I would be treated in stores and stuff like that, at once upon a time, like, I'm not doing that. And I'm not, and plus, like, because too, I was a assistant manager, so I was, dealing with other people, and it was like, you gotta be a little more stern. I'm like, well, I could be stern without having to be like, be me, like, listen to me, this and that. Like, I'm not being like that. I'm gonna still get my job done being me, you know. And if that's a problem, I could go. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's being in alignment, and I was loving what I do. I was loving interacting with everybody. Playing the music. Vibing. That's another thing too. Not being judgmental of where you at, and dealing with it from that aspect. And it was a certain thing that wasn't also building up, like, because also I was able to talk to people straight up. Like, I would talk to people about crystals, talk to people about spiritual growth, because I had my YouTube channel at this time. You know what I'm saying? So I was lined up, with that energy. So again, nothing is wrong with having a job in that sense of it. you know and especially, again, when it's in alignment with the greater good. Because think about it like this: you may be working, like, say for instance, people smoking out of water pipes, and from a smoke shop or whatever, like, that may not necessarily connect people to their highest good. But by you uh being in alignment, like, or for myself, like, by myself being in alignment with sustaining myself, by me being able to sustain myself, I was able to sustain my jewelry business and being able to do YouTube videos, so I could provide a platform and an energy that does help for people to get to know their inner universe and master their inner realm. You know what I'm saying? In that sense of it, so it still trickle down into being you know, a situation that help regardless. So, but again, back to that aspect, again, like going through the zodiac, the Scorpio aspect again secretes What secrets are revealed from the depths of the underworld of base of our being, and we get to know thyself more. You know what I'm saying? We get to know who we are even more. You know what I'm saying? As we transform, knowing the end all be all wasn't being a caterpillar but a butterfly. You know, for the analogy of it. You know, and knowing thyself even more, and into Sagittarius, where we expand on knowing thyself, aka excuse me, expansion in connection with the Jupiter energy. And again, all these energies are within. You know what I'm saying? In Sagittarius area deals with the thighs and deals with movement. You know, like Sagittarius moving around, like being adventurous. You know what I'm saying? Like, because also, you know, sometimes we may have to move around little adventures in order to expand, you know, our certain knowledge of things. You know what I'm saying? In that sense, because I mean, first expanding in the sense of inward, and it'll reflect outwardly. But again, knowing thyself even more into the Sagittarius energy, where we expand on the knowledge that we just gained from going deep within ourselves from the Scorpio energy. And then again, in Sagittarius is a fire energy, so it's firing up our spirit, you know, as well. You know what I'm saying? And then as it's firing up our spirit, you know, and spirit, you know what I'm saying, that fire energy to be able to move, be spontaneous, you know, again, like Sagittarius moving around, you know, in that sense of it, you know, firing up that spirit. Then we fortify that knowledge by creating a strong foundation, like the base of a mountain, for us to climb up, like the goat or the Capricorn. So, you know, and it tells the story, like, you know, it's only had to tell the story, you know what I'm saying? Just like, again, hence why the tarot cards, you know, in essence, had this divine connection, because it's connected to, you know, to a truthful source, you know what I'm saying, in connection with the path of the food. The food card is like the food that don't know what's going on, and, you know, in order to, you know, to gain knowledge, you got to be an empty slate. If you holding on to information, you won't be able to bring in more information, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to constantly be like an open vessel, and not open to like any entity's body jumping in that sense, but, you know, like an open vessel to or open-minded to new information, like water, being adaptable and stuff like that. But again, after moving from the Sagittarius, we fortify that knowledge by creating a strong foundation, like the base of a mountain, for you to climb up like the goat. Because again, also the goat, the Capricorn energy, is not being like a sheep. You know, goats is climbing up the mountain. Goats is not herded. You know, maybe in some places they may try to herd goats, but for the most part, goats are like on their own, like, you know, like climbing the mountain, and they're on their own, their energy. You know, and on your ascent, you continuously become structured. You know, that Saturn energy, you become structured. You become more accountable, and you become disciplined and responsible in what you know about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ground that energy, and you become more fortified in it, more disciplined and responsible, aka that Saturn energy, that's, you know, that as a whole, you know, fortifies our energy, you know what I'm saying? And then after you fortify, you know, again, becoming disciplined and responsible in what you know about yourself, then you begin to unlock your eccentric gifts. You know what I'm saying? Like your eccentric, unconventional aspects of your unique abilities, aka the Aquarius energy, which you know, is uh, ruled by Uranus, and some aspects Saturn aspect, you know what I'm saying? But the Uranus aspect, what deals with eccentric, you know, and uniqueness, and you know, unconventional aspects, you know, and again, by knowing thyself, you're able to tap into your eccentric gifts and your unique abilities, you know, to know Aquarius, the information age, knowledge, you know, and allowing for all your dreams, the Pisces, which comes next, to be expanded on, because Pisces is you know, well, Pisces with the dream aspect is connection with Neptune, and then also it used to, with the older aspect being ruled by Jupiter and Jupiter's expansion. So after you tap into your unique aspects and knowing yourself and your eccentric gifts with that Aquarius energy, you step into the Pisces with allowing your dreams to be expanded and allowing for your imagination to be more limitless. You know what I'm saying? And then you come back around to the Aries aspect where, you're applying this with a strong will, you know what I'm saying? Like this understanding, having a strong will about it, and then implementing the love and grounded aspect of the Taurus, energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, being grounded. Even more again, like the earth signs, bring the earth. You know what I'm saying? The grounded aspect, and the value, the purification aspect. But and again, and it's going back to through the zodiac till you get back to Virgo, how I started. But you see how all these different things connect. But again, uh, it's about embodying the God energy, and it's only apocalypse to the temporary, acidic, you know, temporary aspect. But as a matter of fact, y'all remember to hit the like button. But and Chris Colvin, yeah, that's a thing too. You know, that's why I say, some people are meant like to be just meditating in the mountains, like like some of the people, the yogis and stuff like that, who just always, in the ethers and not necessarily doing any physical work, but just by them being in the ethers on that level, they holding that space, in order to bring down that energy. You know what I'm saying? Even stronger. But that's the whole aspect. Of what's going on. Is we're bringing on this apocalyptic energy, you know what I'm saying? But this apocalyptic energy is not like, oh, the end of the world. No, it's just only the end of the world for certain beings that want to worship the temporary aspects of this realm, you know, like the certain energies that want to promote toxic ways of living, you know, like that's the aspect that the apocalypse is for. And hence why again in every type of little storyline and certain mythologies, and hence why again the book Celestial Ship of the North is so great, and probably why it was banned from publication was because it speaks to going to the information that goes to the pre-dynastic aspects, and it walks you through on how you get to the point where the mother aspect becomes something evil, and that primordial chaos energy becomes something evil. You know what I'm saying? In which that within itself was a part of the balance at that time too. Don't get it twisted. You know, but again, it became to a point where it got too imbalanced. You know what I'm saying? So it's about again tapping into that God energy, that source energy, because nothing, again, the only way you would see it like it's something bad or the end of the world in that sense of it is if you're holding on to that humanity aspect. Then of course it's gonna seem like it's the end of the world or something bad is gonna happen, you know, because also you're still holding on to the aspect of seeing like the roles that we play in this realm is the end all be all, like, and hence that was the truth to the aspect within the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna was on the battlefield with Arjuna, Krishna, the Christ energy, and again showing you how that Christ energy was about that life, in the true aspect of it, because Krishna on the battlefield with Arjuna, and Arjuna look across the way on the battlefield. He's like, wait, hold on, man. That's my mom. That's my dad. That's my family. And Krishna was like, but that ain't your family, bro. Like that, you know what I'm saying? Like those energies again are those temporary aspects. So again, like my mama, not my mama. my sister, not my sister. Again, they playing these roles in that sense of it, you know what I'm saying? But it's a bigger aspect to that, you know what I'm saying? Like, and hence why when we start to open up to our spirit and our soul, we connect with our soul family and, you know, people who are in alignment with, you know, that deeper energy, you know. Like, that's the whole aspect to things. And hence why a lot of us do become outcasts to our earthly plane, quote unquote, families, because, you know, we starting to tap into spirit and our soul more, and if that ain't in alignment for them in that moment, then, you know, we'll seem like we're crazy or outcasts, or, you know what I'm saying? Because again, when we in connection with our spirit and our soul, what that stands for is basically, again, infiniteness and not temporary toxic energies, you know. Something deeper. Appreciate that, Celestial Phoenix. Appreciate that donation. Matter of fact, any and all donations greatly appreciated. Got the donation links. I haven't posted it under this video, but underneath most of all my videos, got my PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo links to our usernames, so you could send a donation. Any and all donations greatly appreciated. Matter of fact, also remember, you know, you're vibing with certain videos, not just this one, to hit the like button, because that helps with the algorithms of the videos coming up when you're searching them, and for others when searching them, and it allows for you know, the little monetization of videos for the little funds to come in. And I don't have my stuff with me to do the full commercial of it, but still got the 3 for 3 oils going on. I got the link underneath my last few videos, and I'm gonna put it under this video as well. But the 3 for 3 oils commercial time, like an hour and 40 minutes. You know, it's commercial time. You know, uh, the 3 for 3 oils aspect, where you get three bottles of essential oils for $3, and all you have to do is use the promo code, which is my name, Epic Lifestyles, uh, and that allows for you to get the 3 oils for $3, and it's again legitimate, not no bullshit. You check out my Instagram, where I just reposted somebody speaking on how they just had theirs come through. You get a free ebook with it, and I had the details underneath in the description area. So, and also remember to hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber and you wanna, you know, connect. And also, after subscribing, hit the little bell notification thing that allows for you to be notified whenever I do live videos, or whenever I post a video. You'll be notified, because a lot of times some of my videos do have like a, you know, again, because if I'm, again, being tapped in the spirit and I get this inspiration to speak on something, it has a strong relevance to that now moment, you know what I'm saying? So definitely want to hit that bell notification, you know. But again, we tapping into our soul energy, you know, no longer letting our temporary aspect, you know, run the show. And again, doing that inner work, you know, like knowing ourselves to the fullest, you know, and tapping into our inner realms, you know, cleansing our chakras of trauma, you know what I'm saying, cleansing our subconscious of trauma, you know, and also accepting these aspects as well, you know, as I say, cleansing, not necessarily cleansing it in that sense of it, more so as transmuting it, and also accepting all aspects of our growth, you know. Like, again, like the oneness is the understanding that these parasitic energies and these you know, what we call parasitics and temporary humanity, you know, it exists as antagonists for a reason, because that creates the game within itself. You know, you wouldn't have a, like, again, uh it gives you reason to make sure you level up, because that's how we level up in that sense of it. Think about it. If nothing bothering me, you know what I'm saying, like, here it is, let's just say you got a fighter, like, uh we use it in somebody who practice martial arts, let's say it like that, you know, and one person, just chills all the time, and they never practicing or doing nothing, they just chilling. They could get to a point where they actually become rusty with their martial arts and not be, not getting better, but actually declining in their martial art abilities because they just, just propped up chilling. While the person who's constantly being challenged and challenging themselves is learning new aspects of their martial arts in every moment and getting better and better at their martial arts due to testing themselves. Same thing with the aspect, and it goes across the board, as above, so below, as within, so without. It shows itself in everything that we do. Like how your muscles get stronger, it's due to putting resistance again. It's due to putting weight. Like when you put a weight again, and the stronger the weight, the heavier the weight, the stronger you get. So the stronger the levels of the oppression get, like the more they try to, quote unquote, but again, that's an aspect of ourselves created in this realm again to be the antagonist to spark us to grow. Again, the pressure to make a diamond, because if it wouldn't be no pressure, there wouldn't be no diamonds. It'd just be a lump of coal, and ain't nothing wrong with a lump of coal, but again, we constantly progressing and growing and becoming our greatest version. So with that being said, you know that antagonist exists for a reason, and hence why, another thing too, to get out of that aspect of the we, like we gotta do this, we, is you. You don't worry, as you master your inner universe, and you, transmute energies within your inner realm, your actions are gonna align with, being helpful to, beings who want to do the same. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll be a beacon for that. It just comes with the territory, instead of you feeling like we gotta do this and we gotta do this as a people, because we is a herd mentality, aka sheeple. You know what I'm saying? Being a sheep. And matter of fact, I think that was Dr. Phil Valentine said that, like, the only thing a sheep could see is the back of another sheep's ass. You know what I'm saying? While a goat climbs the mountain, and hence why they try to place the goat head on something evil. You know what I'm saying? So you could be scared of being the goat, and climbing that mountain and being on your own path and understanding your own unique energy and your own unique path. And mastering your your energy within your earth experience. You know, because again, that downward star just represents, tapping into the energy, within the bodysuit. You know what I'm saying? But it's, again, like bringing that energy or activating that energy within, this bodysuit. But that doesn't mean the worship of it. They take it and turn it into, like, oh, this means worshiping, the devil and this and that. So it could scare you away from tapping into a deeper occult aspect of learning about yourself. You know, like that's the whole thing that's going on. You know, again, we want to be constantly clearing ourselves of that attachment to, you know, our humanity. Like, yes, we are on a human experience. Yes, we are on a human bodysuit, but it's not to be attached to it. And it's not to put that aspect before our soul and our spirit. You know, again. But right quick, fake synchronicities are synchronicities that more so come from, uh like when you give in, like, again, your inner universe reflects outwardly. There are certain energies within this matrix. Like, think of it as like a Agent Smith. you know like when this little matrix system, again, this oppressing energies, these energies we created to be the antagonists, to, again, to allow for us to grow. But if you're giving in, like when I was giving in to the fakeness of, like I was looking to be, like, so say for instance, like looking to be into this realm more than into my spirit. So when I'm looking to like, because that's why a lot of people were like, oh, your jewelry looks so nice, and tapping into like trying to get me to like, oh, like overly value like my jewelry from a physical aspect of worshiping the physical, and if I was to comply with that energy, then I would get more beings that would align with that energy, and it would seem synchronistic, you know but it's more so like synchronicity that's artificial and created by the agent aspect of this reality, in that sense of it, you know and right now I'm not channeled into it right now, so it's not coming in, because I could go a little deeper, but I'm not aligned with that quote unquote channel right now to go, you know deep. I'm trying, not trying to, I'm going into, just catching different little aspects. But yeah, it's like, matter of fact, and another aspect to get you to understand what I'm talking about, and you could go check out my, again, the video I did on Eyes Wide Shut, and the video I did on the Truman Show. Like the Truman Show, like Truman basically was born into a show. This Matrix realm, you know what I'm saying? But it was personifying it as Jim Carrey's character born into a show, and he was born into this show. So as a baby, like somebody thought it would be a good idea to create a show where they follow this baby through his growth from a baby to a man, and that was Truman, Jim Carrey's character. Spoiler alert, if you want to go watch Truman Show, stop watching this video. Because it is a good show, and you might not want it to be spoiled by me telling you. But, you know, and again, I also have the video on. If you just look up Universal Frequencies Truman Show, it should pop up. But you got Truman Show, and what I mean by fake synchronicity is like, Truman was all right, growing up in this little matrix or this fake show. His parents was all actors. His friends was all actors. Everybody in the little town was all fucking actors. And got to a point where Truman started to realize, like, bruh, this shit seemed fake. Like the postman, who's the postman, seemed like he was the fucking uh the butcher at the store the other day. You know what I'm saying? Like he starts to realize, like, wait, hold on, bro. These seem like certain people acting, and when I do a certain thing, they do a certain thing. He starts to catch on, like, wait, hold on, bro. This shit ain't. This round fake. Like this shit is like a movie or something. And every time he would start to catch that realization, he would get like the synchronicity of somebody popping up. And matter of fact, AKA his friend, which was like the agent of the Matrix. He would represent like an Agent Smith, or AKA that energy that tries to keep him into the falsehood of the show. You know what I'm saying? Of the Matrix. And again, nothing good or bad, right or wrong with that show. Because by Truman being on that show, hey, he learned, he became, aware of it, and became greater due to having to move his way through that situation. But, they had this actor as his friend, childhood friend or whatever, you know, that basically would pop up every time Truman would become aware that this shit was like fake. So, and again, everybody watching. So whenever Truman always being watched. So whenever he would like have those realizations, the person over the show, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause again, there's a certain energy that wants people to stay in this realm to use their energy, aka, again, the story of like whatever you want to call it, your dollar broth or whatever, the Lucifer aspect, but you know, within, whenever he would become aware, the person over the show would be like, send in, he would get on the walkie-talkie like, hey, send in so and so, and he always show up too with advice. Like he always like, hey, got the beer. It's like, let's drink a brew. You know what I'm saying? Like let's get you inebriated and get you to a place of like, like being calm and back into this matrix. You know what I'm saying? And that was the whole thing of it. Like and it always seemed synchronistic of how his friend would pop up. And like, hey man, you always popping up at this, you know. like a synchronicity, but a synchronicity that wasn't necessarily serving his higher goods, more of a synchronicity that aligned them with agents, of the Matrix. The same thing with Eyes Wide Shut. Spoiler alert, if you never watch Eyes Wide Shut, uh, where basically, uh, Brad Pitt's character, kept aligning with beings that were trying to get him into this sex cult, you know, but it seemed like, oh, bro, like I just lined up with this situation and just lined up with that situation, but it was really like everybody from the sex cult was in cahoots. Cahoots meaning they had, like, they was all connected and together on the situation, and they had Brad Pitt thinking, oh, I'm synchronistically lining up with these situations, but really that was them, planning to be in a certain place at a certain time, you know and again, as you become, that's why it's good to sit. A matter of fact, reason why also, going back to the Virgo energy, with detoxifying in the tarot card, the Virgo card or the Virgo energy is represented by the Hermit card as well. And the Hermit, to mean be by yourself, or to go within. You know what I'm saying? Like the Hermit got that little lamp, and that lamp is a six-pointed star, like this, the representation of the heart chakra and the balance other, that energy, and also it being a light, but being by yourself, and like, because if in that situation, because matter of fact, every time Truman was by himself and got to, like, because that's another thing too, they always try to keep a character by him, some character from this act in this movie, you know what I'm saying, in the Matrix. And the same thing with Brad Pitt, like, if he would have sat down to himself and be like, bro, hold on, man, this shit just, you know I don't think this real synchronicities, are quote unquote coincidences, but synchronicities, like, it just got to be somebody planning out this shit. You realize those things the more you tap into your, again, going into your inner realm, going within. And that creates the external. So when you tapped into your inner gnosis and your inner intuition, you're not just gullibly following everything that you see externally, you know what I'm saying? And realizing your external realm is a reflection inwardly. And like sometimes you may not be in alignment, with certain aspects. Like if you're in alignment with certain aspects of temporary, like with the Matrix aspect, like you're trying to be a movie star, but that's all you're trying to be is just a movie star. Then you're gonna manifest other beings and that energy that's just lining you up to be that, and not necessarily connecting with your inner source. And you will receive synchronicities within that aspect, but it's not necessarily synchronicities from you know uh, for your highest good in that sense of it, you know. But for lack of a better word, you know, how do you deal with unconscious people, society in general, and pretty much unconscious? For one, not being judgmental, you know, you created this reality, and by being a creator of this reality, we created certain aspects of, you know, certain cells in the body that's just not gonna get it. Certain cells in this body that's just not gonna detox and be with the higher aspect of what's going on. And that just is what it is. There's no judgment towards those cells. They're gonna be what they are. You know what I'm saying? So first and foremost, not judging them. You know, like, so what if they unconscious? They are what they are. If it's lined up for them to learn, they're gonna learn. If it's not, it's not. You know what I'm saying? Worry about your inner universe and mastering your inner self. And and again, and the rest will fall in place because about you. What goes on in our inner realm reflects outwardly. So if we're getting into a strong connection with our soul and spirit, you know, uh, we're going to amplify that energy within the external realm just by doing it in our internal realm. You know, again, hence why certain oppressing energies want to control your mind. wants to control your subconscious, and like the saying says, if you don't control your subconscious, somebody else will. You know, the subconscious is the mechanism for creating things. Whatever we plug into our subconscious is what creates this realm, and hence why movies, Hollywood, wood from a holly tree. The movie industry, and I said that before, like that's almost like the capital of this matrix. It's Hollywood. Like that's the thing. Like anything that comes through the television, you know what I'm saying, movie screen, like that's what the aspect of, the magic, and from that aspect, trying to control the subconscious mind. And again, while all these X-Men characters, all these storylines of the person who's connecting with their spiritual abilities or their superpowers, and like, bro, we just different. We are spiritual, soulful beings. We're not like temporary humans. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta tap into this, our power. And those beings are reversed to look evil, so it could be programmed into your subconscious to think that you tapping into your soulless spirit is evil, and that you gotta embrace this temporary aspect of humanity, but in a way that gives that way you give into it and put your soul and your spirit underneath it, and allow for your soul and your spirit to be ran by the human aspect of yourself, the temporary aspect of yourself. And hence, again, back to you know, to what this video started off on too, is like you're not gonna get the keys to the kingdom. You're not gonna be able to be allowed to be the king or the queen if you still being bamboozled by shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about a king or queen that's just gullible as fuck. Like, who would want that to be king or queen? You know what I'm saying? If that king or queen is still gullible as fuck. And again, we're all on our growth, so don't judge yourself if you have, you know, been duped by certain energies. I've been tricked into, these certain aspects. But, again, like, acknowledge it and be aware, like, all right, shit, these movies have programmed me to fucking, uh, to like disconnect from my soul and spirit, or certain energy. Like the new age movement has tricked me into thinking oneness was about, uh, you know, listening to these cancerous and acidic aspects of humanity or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, I am aware of this, and now it's time to, to to shift my consciousness, to shift my subconscious, in that sense of it. But yeah, for that aspect, unconscious people will be unconscious people. Like a saying say, let the dead sleep with the dead. You could only, you know, worry about what's going on in your inner realm. And for me, as being a student, like liking to learn these different things and master my own inner universe, and by and being that masterful student, I also, in that essence, like to speak on these things, or quote unquote, whatever it's called, be a teacher. But being a great teacher is being a masterful student. But it's a master my inner universe. Like, in order to help somebody else heal, I gotta heal myself. In order for me to be a teacher, I gotta be a student myself. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be willing to learn in order to be able to teach something. You know what I'm saying? I can't be against learning and then try to call myself a teacher, because then others would be against learning. You know what I'm saying? In that sense, like, but and that's another thing, Tori Indigo. Nobody. So that's another aspect. Nobody can make you do anything. That's you. That's allowing for yourself to be guilty. That's you that allows that energy. So it creates you being in a situation where externally these quote unquote beings telling you you should feel guilty about this. That because inside yourself you feel guilty, so your internal realm reflects outwardly and creates a situation where certain beings gonna tell you feeling guilty. Just like with starting your own business. If you're extremely confident and courageous in starting your business, like you may have momentarily, like say for instance, one person come up and be like, "Oh man, it's hard to start a business," and come up with some doubtful information, and then you just smash that shit with like, "Oh nah, you know, it ain't hard to start no business, and I know what the fuck I'm doing." So I hear you, but I don't hear you. Like, fuck that shit. What you talking about? I'm not saying that you cursing at him like that, but like, like, nah, bro, I'm straight. I got this, and I'm confident and courageous, and start my business. And it's not hard. It's only hard if you make it seem hard. Because if you make it seem hard, then that's what creates it being hard. So, like, when you're confident, courageous in this energy, you know, you might have that again, that one person pop up, but then after that, the only thing that's gonna be in your reflection is other confident and courageous entrepreneurs or other confident, courageous beings who confident and courageous in what they're doing, you know. But if there's some little small aspect of doubt just constantly just floating around in us, then it's gonna reflect outwardly as whether it's a family member or a person that's just constantly like, hey, you should you might think of like not doing your business, and it kind of is hard to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna constantly get that because it exists inside of you. It vibrates inside of you first and foremost. If you constantly, if you haven't gotten over smoking herb all the way, and to each his own on that aspect. Not saying it's good or bad, right or wrong, but if you haven't got over the vibration of smoking herb all the way, then there's still gonna be somebody external that represents that energy of like, hey bro, you wanna smoke? You know what I'm saying? Like you wanna, put and you gotta make sure it's like get to a place where you like strongly within your energy to know like, oh no, I'm straight all the way, like I'm straight, and then you would no longer get that energy promoting you all you want, and you eliminate that energy of when you realize that it's only you that's responsible for creating your reality, and things go, and that's what things first go to getting fucked up is when you externalize the shit and feel like, oh, it's because of somebody else. Like, cause even the fact that, yeah, all right, cause even with us, like saying for instance, like being psychic or being, or the energy of like picking up on energies, within a certain space, you know, like say for instance, I could go in a certain space and I could feel like if I go walk into a place where everybody's smoking herb, and for 1,000 years everybody smoked herb in this building and always had the munchies in this building. So when I go in this building, it has the residue of like of the energy of like wanting to smoke and eat things. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, and yeah, I could be able to feel that energy strongly, but you gotta stand in your energy and know that's not me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna allow this energy to overwhelm me and feel like I gotta give into this energy. Because then you again giving power to something externally, and then externally it's governing you and ruling you in that sense. When all you gotta do is like, no matter how strong this energy is, realizing it's not my energy. Like I quit smoking, and I don't catch the munchies like that. So I feel it. I feel the presence of this energy, but I don't have to do that just because I feel the presence of this energy, just because I'm standing in this, this field. Same thing like with, if you go to a jailhouse and you stand in a cell, you could feel the energy of like somebody possibly getting raped by another inmate, somebody getting stabbed by another inmate, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna go rape somebody and stab somebody just because I'm standing in that energy field and I could feel it. I gotta maintain the strength within my soul and spirit and my unique energy, and not give in to that vibe. Because hence why again, it's not about aliens from outer space. It's about, and yeah, aliens at all for the most part, but it's aliens that's from inner space. You know what I'm saying? Hence why it's implemented to put all these artificial foods out and have all these artificial entities so it could go into our inner space. When you eat and consume, it goes into your inner space, and these aliens from your inner space tries to throw off your connection with your inner space, your inner source, with your spirit. And as it tries to throw off that energy, then you go and reflect those actions of of like, oh shit, nah, I got the urge to go eat some salts and eat some sugary stuff, because of this you know this this inner energy, this alien from my inner space, I'm saying alien for lack of a better word, you know, but it's from the inner space. Again, like with these movies and stuff, it goes into your eyes, into your inner space, and programs your subconscious, which is in your inner space. And then as you allow for that to program your subconscious, then that reflects outwardly. You know what I'm saying? Because if you think Magneto's character is evil, or if you think Thanos is evil, if you think Apocalypse is evil, if you think Cammy from Harrow County comic books is evil, then you're gonna think that your soul and spirit is evil, and then you're gonna align with that energy, of embracing your humanity over your soul and spirit because you've been programmed to think that it's evil. And again, back to Hollywood being wood from a holly tree. A wood from a holly tree is used because uh, it's said to contain a certain essence of magic, you know, uh, and why it's used for like batons for orchestras, but also a magic wand, is Hollywood. They doing wood with the holly tree, magic on your subconscious, and they put this shit on a black screen and project it, you know, to try to project a certain image within you, you know, that's the whole aspect. And go check out my video. I got a playlist called Subconscious Programming. Where you could go check out the different videos I have on the subconscious to go deeper into that aspect. But yeah, Tori Indigo, you're getting pulled back because you haven't healed the energy within yourself of letting go, and so you feel guilty, and that's what creates it externally. I spoke on it earlier. Matter of fact, Andrew, tell you would have to watch this video from the beginning. I don't want to be too redundant in this video for everybody to, but just briefly, I'll say, again, they, uh, again, this energy called they, but the New Age movement promotes oneness in the sense of promoting for you to uh, blindly show love and compassion to aspects that may not be beneficial to what's going on right now. I bring up equity, like it's about tapping into our, you know, to our spirit and our higher self, even more like tapping into that feminine energy in order to balance things out. You know what I'm saying? So with the new age movement fakeness with the oneness aspect is to get you to get into a nice, like, I'ma just be nice to everybody, and oneness means being nice to everybody, and not having discernment, because again a healthy heart chakra means you're discerning, meaning like again like a mother lion is discerning. She's just not gonna let anything try to harm her cubs, or her the lion cubs or whatever. She has discernment, and she's gonna stand up, to those external energies. So what the oneness try to create is like they don't give you the full picture of understanding, like, yes, everything is all interconnected in one, you know but that doesn't mean I'm gonna give in to the toxic energies of my temporary humanity and my temporary bodysuit. I'm gonna make sure that my soul and my spirit is governing, my bodysuit, not my bodysuit trying to govern my soul and spirit. Because then when I transition, I'm a lose that connection, and get recycled back into this realm, without memory, because I was holding on to a temporary aspect called Ray, you know, called universal frequencies. You know what I'm saying? Because this is temporary. This bodysuit is temporary. You know, and again, it's cool to, again, just because it's temporary doesn't mean it's bad in that sense of it. Because again, I'm gonna use my bodysuit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a I'm in this realm but not of it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm carrying out like this, the spirit and the body, when balanced in your, again, with the balance of realizing your true connection to your soul and spirit, this body works for you in a way that allows for you to, you know uh bring more light into your being, you know what I'm saying, to be more in alignment with your soul aspect, you know. But again, the new age movement aspect teaches you to just be one, even with the fakeness of this realm, you know. Not holding on to those energies, you know. Like again, I understand that uh the the parasitic energies and the over acidic energies exist for a reason. Hologram is a part of the whole, but it's not for me to put that first. You know, it's not for because they want you to be nice. Again, like my best way to put it again, like the X-Men movies, like Xavier. You know, they want you to look. You know, be compassionate even when these people spit in your face, you know what I'm saying, and try to bullshit you and spit in your face, still be compassionate. Because again, they created the X-Men, the Xavier and Magneto was created right when Malcolm X and Martin Luther King was like in their little mix. Like the dude who created X-Men created around that time to mimic those characters. And and even MLK started to realize like, oh shit, I done led my people into a burning building. And once he started to realize that that oneness shit wasn't really the way, that's when they assassinated him because it's like, oh shit, now you know what's up. You know what I'm saying? But again, same thing with the Xavier aspect. Like they want you to give in to these energies. Like no matter how much humanity fucks over you, still try to save humanity. They trying to create a superhero for their bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like they want you to save their bullshit. You know, so that's what the new age movement and oneness aspect is given to. It's like, please save our fucked upness. You know, and hence, like with the program Shield, like in Marvel, like Shield are like the mutants who work for the government, and hence that was Black Panther. You know, Black Panther, start was like kind of working with the CIA and working with the government to try to promote, for sure, melanated people. You know, who again, not all melanated people are gonna be just saved because they got melanin, but the melanin does have a strong connection with these energies if those the beings choose to tap into it, but it was to promote that energy of like, all right, these motherfuckers awakening right now, so we gotta you know create this little program to make them be heroes for our bullshit, you know like because also the movie what that was, a movie with Will Smith, John Hancock or Hancock. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he lost his memory. A guy that lost his memory, and two, they also promoted. And again, that's nothing against. They doing this for subconscious magic, but the black character married to the white character, and again, uh, this is not for us to be like race baiting and stuff like that. Is the understanding of that aspect of what they're trying to promote on a subconscious level. You know what I'm saying? Like again, like with Black Panther working with the CIA, it's like they're trying to like, oh please don't, like cause and effect. These beings like who slave owners and still choosing to fuck over people, they got a effect that's coming to their cause, but they're trying to get control of your subconscious so you can stop them from getting fucked over, like how they're gonna deservingly get fucked over. And for lack of a better word, I'm using a strong word like fucked over, but like to get what's coming to them. You know what I'm saying? Like that it is what it is, ain't nothing gonna stop that. But what slows it down though is the beings with strong pineals and a strong connection to soul and spirit, and with a strong creational energy. If you get those beings to like save this realm by like thinking, oh, I should save those slave masters and slave like, no, the one is again, the oneness aspect of like, oh yeah, I understand that those uh like everything is interconnected, like like I asked for the experience of those slave masters, of those oppressors, like the diamond asks for that pressure because it wouldn't be a diamond if it didn't have that pressure. But I'm not trying to comply and listen to that slave master energy, you know what I'm saying, and try to continuously create, you know, that type of reality, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the aspect, you know. But, you know, Straight Panther, your stuff is on the way, bro. If it ain't, well, it should be there probably Monday. But yep, your bracelet is on the way. Matter of fact, quick commercial break. Uh, Epic Lifestyles on Instagram for jewelry. If you're looking to order any jewelry, if you don't have an Instagram, you know, and you want to order jewelry, just get one. Just to message me for that. You know, you don't even have to put pictures on it or whatever. You can have a blank profile picture and don't even anything. Just to, you know, just to send me messages and to look at, you know, the jewelry that I have posted and see what I have. Because you won't be able to see what I got, you know, because I'm not going, like at this point, I'm not going through the trouble of trying to send these things through the email, like when it's already there on my Instagram, and all you got to do is get you an Instagram. If you want the jewelry, you got to get the Instagram in order to see it, you know. As a matter of fact, that's a blockage within itself. But to each his own. Of like, oh man, I just, you know, I can't deal with Instagram. It's that, you know, just, you can have self control. You don't have just because you get an Instagram page. You know, you just getting it to connect with me with the jewelry. You don't have to start scrolling down people pages and looking at shit and getting into the mess of Instagram and social media. You know, it's just to check out my jewelry and send me messages and, you know, for us to do the transaction process. Yeah, Epic Lifestyles. EPIKLIFESTYLEZ. But but yeah, it's like it's just a parody, you know, of this energy. And again, that's why I would always bring up I don't, you know, because another thing too, you don't have to hate these energies because you created these energies to be that contrast. Like you created those pressing energies to be something that was gonna put so much pressure on you. You had no choice but to either, you know, pressure either bust pipes or it fucking creates diamonds. You know what I'm saying? Some people, you know, within this lifetime is meant for them to be a bust pipe. Some meant to turn into a diamond, and as long as you looking to turn into a diamond, because we're all growing at a different pace, so it's not like oh everybody, because again your growth is no comparison to nobody else, so everybody don't have to be at the pace that universal frequency is on right now, or the pace that so and so is on right now, or the pace that you know someone else is on. Like you got to be at your own pace, but you definitely want to have that awareness and you know and you know just making sure you're not procrastinating in the energy, like you know taking your time with it, not trying to because again it's in order to heal you can't heal trying to speed, you know, like run through a healing, you know. Again, I just made a video about that. Check out my last video I just made. But you know you gotta take your time with it, you know, in that sense of it, you know, take your time, but you know be in your moment and do what you gotta do, but just make sure you're not procrastinating and doing your best, because we know, because that's what stops us from being critical, is by doing the best that we can do for the unique person of who we are, you know, like being our best, you know. Like all I could do is be the best me and do my best. Because my best is different from somebody else's best, you know. And when you do, that's like in the book, The Four Agreements. Like the Four Agreements is be impeccable with your word, you know what I'm saying? Uh Anything personal. Because again, taking anything personal lowers your energy, you know what I'm saying, in that sense of it. Don't take anything personal. Don't make assumptions, and and do your best, you know, because we'll go to fall into a place of like victimhood or judgment whenever we're not doing our best, because we'll go to judging ourselves or feeling some kind of way, where it's like what helps you to not feel a kind of way is when you do, you know, when you done your best and you like, bruh, even though that shit don't look as good as Michael Jordan, but that was the best I could do. You know what I'm saying? Even though that shit wasn't the best, even though cooked and it wasn't better than Emerald Lagasse, it was the best I could do. And you feel good. You feel great because you just know shit, that was my best. You know, because that's all you could do. You're a unique energy. You're a unique expression of, of the source. You know what I'm saying? So within your bodysuit and within this lifetime, all you could do is be that unique expression to the best that you could be that unique expression, you know. But yeah, everything is a tool, you know what I'm saying? Like, money isn't bad or good. Crystals aren't bad or good. Guns aren't bad or good. A gun just sits there. You know, a hammer just sits there. But if I take a hammer and hit somebody in the head with it, you know, it could do something. Or if I take that hammer and do some work with it and nail it, and do something else, just like a crystal. It's neither good or bad. It's the perception of the onlooker that puts it into that place. But again, it's neither good or bad, even with that situation. It just, it is what it is. Like either a person uses it for quote unquote negative energy or positive energy, but it's neither just a positive or just a negative. That potential exists in all things. You know what I'm saying? So it's again no good or bad, right or wrong, because people could be like, "Oh, crystals are good." Like, no, that's not true. Because using crystals may be something that for other be again for some beings that's trying to oppress, people using crystals to help get a connection with their spirit and soul may be a bad thing to them. So crystals could be bad to them. You know what I'm saying? Like again, there's no good, bad, right or wrong in that sense. You know, like again, and that's the whole aspect. Well, no good, bad, right and wrong. Oh, water is good. Well, what if you drown in water? What you gonna say then? Like that person just drowned, and even if the person drowned, it's neither bad. But that person drowned, like that person, had a negative experience with that water, but that's neither making the water straight up negative or straight up positive. If it's all on how you interface with it, and the way you interface with it doesn't give it just one solid definition in that sense of it. You know. Hey, hey, little birdies. But but yeah. And again, mastering our inner universe. You know, we learning everything. Like everything that I'm speaking on. Is to help for you to gain insight on how to use this to apply on how could you be masterful about knowing yourself to the fullest. Like knowing thyself to the fullest, and by knowing these certain things about what's going on in this realm of reality, it could help you to remember, like, all right, I am a soul on that mission to not fall into giving in to the temporary humanity aspect of things. Again, the apocalypse for the temporary humanity. Because again, if you're trying to hold on to the temporary aspects, if you're trying to put a computer over your soul and spirit, then yeah, it's apocalypse for that energy. You know what I'm saying? It's apocalypse for for again for the temporary toxic cancerous acidic energies, you know what I'm saying, or any energy that's trying to hold on to that imbalance too, from that perspective, like any energy that's trying to keep the masculine over the feminine instead of allowing for it to be balanced, then yeah, it's gonna seem like the apocalypse to somebody who wants to put logic over intuition, or to put you know because again, even with you know we're bringing up again the scale when we put more weight on the side of the feminine energy, and that spirit energy to balance things out, you know. So one is neither, over the other. It's just in the sense though that we're being guided by our infinite aspect and our soul and spirit. but the soul and spirit still is gonna be in connection with this bodysuit, you know. So you still may eat food, you know what I'm saying? Like again, it ain't everybody becoming a breatharian in that sense of it just right out of the blue, you know. Like it's still certain things that, dealing with this bodysuit, you're just not letting this bodysuit run you, you know. That's the whole aspect, but that's basically it. But that's basically it. Y'all don't forget to hit the like button if you're vibing with the videos, and then all donations greatly appreciated. And again, and I'm gonna have the again my donation links is gonna be in the description of this video, and it's in other videos. And I'm gonna also have the 3 for 3 oils promo with all the details in the description as well. But that's basically it, guys. Again, remember, like, we ain't trying to save like the like because again, I'm not trying to force a toxic energy to be something that it ain't trying to be. If a toxic energy want to be toxic, that's on it, you know. Like I understand again the oneness aspect of like, oh yeah, everything is interconnected, like even the hologram, even the parasites, even the temporary aspect. It's just again though, I'm not complying and giving into that energy, because again I won't align with my soul sovereignty and being that royal soul that I am if I'm you know giving in to these lower energies. Again, like, you're not gonna get the keys to the kingdom if you still, if you're not courageous and confident and standing in your energy. Then why would your soul and spirit give you your spiritual gifts and abilities on an amplified level if you still allowing for these certain entities and energies to govern your bodysuit instead of your soul governing your bodysuit? And also the importance of two, again, take what resonate, leave what don't, from from whatever videos I got. At the end of the day, is about trusting your own inner guidance. You know what I'm saying? It's about you tapping into your own intuition. Like, you got your own inner guidance system that taps you into your soul purpose. So you got to know what's going on within you. Again, like, all these different videos and books and stuff like that should be to help you to master your inner realm and to tap into your inner universe. you know like, and not putting one of my videos over your inner guidance system. Now again, yeah, a book or a video or whatever, you could feel that it resonates with your soul, then yeah, like, of course, and that you're being led to watch it or you're being led to read the book or whatever because your inner guidance system resonates with it. That's what the word, resonating with it and alignment with it. And this is going to be beneficial for you, but it's beneficial for you, again, to become masterful in mastering your inner universe and understanding what's going on inside of your bodysuit and listening to your inner guidance system, because only you could be you. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else can't tell you how to be the greatest you. Like, somebody giving advice, but certain people don't know, like, low key, you could do the moonwalk. Like, let's just say, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could do the moonwalk and somebody don't know that, you know? So that means you could do it with these. You're a great dancer, but somebody telling you how to be something else, because they only giving advice from the perspective of what they're great at or what they good at. They can't do the moonwalk, so whatever advice they giving you ain't got nothing to do with doing the moonwalk. You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, hence why, uh, you know, these people who excel at expressing themselves and we gravitate towards is those beings who embody their uniqueness to the fullest. You know, Aquarius age, again, that knowing and tapping into our uniqueness. But that's basically it. Oh, you know. And also, oh yeah, and again, got the tarot readings and consultations, spiritual consultations. The main focus mostly for my consultations is with being in the moment, like the art of listening to our intuition, understanding our soul purpose, using divination tools, reading how to read our subconscious energy, how to work with crystals, whether it's grids and certain recommendations of crystals, and when and how to work with them, and also tapping into certain meditations and visualization exercises. But that's like the gist of what a lot of my spiritual consultations, like that's kind of like the general subject matters I would deal with. And just, and for the most part in general, is for people who's like new to their growth, new to the spiritual aspect of the awakening, and want to, like, all right, I done realize this, like, what's next, you know so a spiritual consultation will help you with that. And just email me for the rates or whatever, because it would be over the phone, and it would be through so many minutes equal a certain amount. So I got 44 minutes for $66, and 66 to 77 minutes for it'll be from 88 to $99 for 66 to 77 minutes. In which I'm gonna also do a promo where I'm gonna allow for a little discount for a certain amount of time or on a certain day or something like that for consultations. Give a certain little discount or whatever. But yeah, I got the consultation in place and the tarot divination as well. And again, this is tools for us to, to get insight on how to tap in more into our own inner universe. So it's not to replace your own inner guidance. So a tarot reading is not to replace your inner guidance. It just help giving you insight, into, what's going on in your reality. I do 3 card. Matter of fact, this is like the little advertisement I got for. I do the 3 card readings, which is more of like you could ask a question, and the 3 card readings is for 15. And then I got the feng shui layout readings that are $40 a reading. And basically, that is an intuitive read though, so it's not you asking a question. It's more so just me doing the read, and it speaks to your now moment or whatever. But just send me a email for that. And again, for either that or consultations, and that'll be the thing. And seeing, like, doing what you love, like, I didn't, 2 hour videos, and I got multiple 3 hour, 2 hour videos. It's doing what you love comes natural to you without you having to try hard. You know, like, I love tapping into the occult and esoteric information, and I love, learning more about myself and learning how to master myself, and also again working with the crystals. That's kind of like one of my main things. And what I'm mostly looking into, like, again, I'm still, again, like with the consultations, like the aspect of, like, tapping in on how to be more present, the art of listening to our intuition, uh how to, kind of read our subconscious and tap into that aspect. Consultation on like meditation advice and visualization exercises. But like, what I'm strongly connected with is the crystals. The crystals is my thing. You know, in fact, right now, got the graphic feldspar. You could kind of see it. Where's this one? Somebody made from Miss Garnett. But the graphic feldspar, got the rainbow obsidian, and got the red coral. Got a few of those left, and I'm about to have some with Kambaba jasper, uh, some more of the graphic feldspar, which the graphic feldspar has smoky quartz in it, which is great because, again, getting over those past life karmic energies and doing that shadow work and transmuting certain energies and certain traumas that is that contrasting energy that is there for us to, either again pressure, either bust pipes or make a diamond. You know, don't let the trauma and stuff overwhelm us, but tap into it and facing our fears. We can't run away from ourselves. And the only way we could heal ourselves is by going into the depths and the darkness of our subconscious, of our being, and shine the light in certain areas in order to heal it. Because if you're ignoring things, like if you're like, oh, I'm not going to look at that, I'm not going to look at that, then you won't be able to heal that aspect, you know. So, but yeah, yeah. And any and all donations greatly appreciated. Uh, Make sure you hitting the if you want updates on when I put up a new video or whenever I'm doing live. Hit the little notification bell, you know, and also hit the subscribe button. If you vibing with the videos, the thumbs up, well, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, and that's basically it. That's all I have to say about that. All right, the black boy, the black boy. Word, man. Well, you know, I'm just being who I am. You know, Matter of fact, not taking things personal is also not taking compliments personal. So, although appreciating and give thanks for compliments, like I can't get lost in the sauce with a compliment. You know what I'm saying? Because you could get lost in the sauce of like tickling your ego in an unhealthy manner. You know, it is what it is. So I can't take compliments personal either, but definitely appreciate it. But yeah, that's basically it. So peace, y'all. Happy now. Now's the vibrate, of course. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Right now, remember what's really going on right now. I want to end with that. Again, the apocalypse to the old stuff that that no longer serve us, like that old earth. We're shifting out of that old earth energy and going into a new earth. You know what I'm saying? Like and whenever you kind of tapping into that new earth energy, you're gonna feel like, oh, it's an apocalypse and the world gonna end or something bad is gonna happen to me or this and that, because you holding on to energy that is quote unquote dying, in that sense of it, you know that's facing the apocalypse. So just be aware. But again, now's the vibrate, y'all. Not too far in the future, not too far in the past. Right now.